Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So, of course, in today's video, I want to give you guys an update what is happening with Bitcoin and, of course, crypto today. So, there is in fact, a fair few things to talk about. But first of all, right, looking at Bitcoin today, this morning, you guys can clearly see that Bitcoin is in fact dropping even more where it was literally 2 days ago, right? 48 hours ago, okay? Where it was about 2 days ago, it was above $31,000. And you guys can clearly see, right? And I just knew, I had a feeling that this would, in fact, happen. Okay, as you guys can clearly see, Bitcoin did, in fact, break down below once again, below $31,000. Right now, it's obviously below, way below, 31K. It's now currently at 30,400. Yesterday, we actually did, in fact, see Bitcoin below $31,000 as well. So yesterday it was in fact dropping. Today it's slightly dropping even more. But if we just go out, zoom out just a little bit, if we go to the 4 hour time frame, you guys can clearly see that Bitcoin is still holding up very well. But it seems like we cannot break this, resistance line. This is a very heavy resistance line for Bitcoin right now, clearly, okay, because it's been a fair few times since we have seen Bitcoin go above $31,000 and back down to 30K. You guys can clearly see one right here back in 24th of June, one right here, 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 and most recently just here. So you guys can clearly see it seems like this is in fact a very heavy resistance line for Bitcoin. It seems like we can't even get back up to $32,000. And I've told you guys many times, once we actually see Bitcoin reach 32K or even above 32K, I think that's when the next rally, okay, for Bitcoin will in fact happen. Obviously, it's clearly, you guys can clearly see that it's very clear that, Bitcoin is in fact staying at this level. It is in fact obviously consolidating for the past 2 weeks now, I want to say, right? For the past like 13 days, we have in fact been seeing Bitcoin in between $31,000 and 30K. So it's obviously a resistance line and a support level, right? So Bitcoin is still, clearly above 30K, which is great. Okay. So when you zoom out, you guys can clearly just see that right there, that Bitcoin is still holding up very, very well, because we know for the past few days, it has in fact been pumping, right? And then now it's just consolidating. And this is exactly what Bitcoin does, guys. Okay. But if you guys look at the crypto market today, yes, uh, most crypto coins are in fact dropping, including Bitcoin, right? You guys can clearly see that for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin and Ethereum both down over 1%, same with BNB, XRP, Cardano, Dogecoin all down 2%, Cardano 3%, Litecoin 2%, Polkadot 3%, Polygon 4%. So yeah, a fair few altcoins are in fact dropping. You guys can clearly see that Chainlink is down over 3% as well. So it is seeming like it is in fact a red day today, but this is nothing too major. This is not like a crash or anything like that, right? Everything's still holding up very well in my opinion. The global crypto market cap has obviously dropped 1.19 trillion now. Now it's below 1.2 trillion, and overall the market is down 1.2% today. Okay, so nothing too major, nothing too crazy. Everything's still holding up pretty well. Now I came across this article, right? Now, I'm telling us right now, okay, we know, you know, the bull market, okay, it's going to happen in 2025, okay, and of course, 2024, once the halving actually happens for Bitcoin, that is pretty much when the bull market will pretty much start, right? It's already starting now. Okay, I wouldn't say we are in fact 100% in a bull market just yet, but clearly you guys can clearly see all of 2023, Bitcoin has in fact been recovering from its bottom and from this falling wedge that we have in fact been seeing all of 2022, right? You guys can clearly see it's forming a new pattern up to the upside. So that's obviously amazing to see. We're still in a bear market. I want to say we are in fact 100%, in the next bull market just yet, but we are in fact, this is obviously the beginning of the next bull market for sure. Okay, because it's obviously breaking out, creating a new pattern up to the upside, getting out from its bottom, right, that we saw last November and December. So Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, okay, in 2025 is going to be absolutely insane, guys. I'm telling you guys out right now. Okay, I'm telling you guys out right now. Bitcoin 2025 will be mind blowing. A lot of people don't understand where Bitcoin is going to be heading in literally less than 2 years' time. In 2025, Bitcoin is going to absolutely pump. What we saw in 2021 will happen in 2025. Okay, so 250K. I've told you guys that many times, right? $250,000 is very possible for Bitcoin to hit in the year 2025. Now, that may seem ridiculous, but I told you guys many times, back in 2020, when we had the halving, Bitcoin was going for around $6,000 to $7,000, right? And then out of nowhere, towards the end of that year in 2020, it started to skyrocket, right? That's when it really started to pump, okay? We saw it go to 10K. We saw it go to like 13K, 15K, 20K, 30K, right? And then of course early of 2021, that's when things really kicked off, right? It just started to pump even more, went all the way up to like 60K, over 60K, right? And no one knew, right? Early of 2020, no one knew, right? Bitcoin would pump that much, right? It was going for like 6K, okay, like less than $10,000, and then out of nowhere, a couple months later, it just went all the way up to 60K, right? So no one knew that Bitcoin was going to pump to, $60,000 when Bitcoin was below 10K, right, at the time. So just think about that, right? Where Bitcoin is at right now, $30,000. No one actually knows right now where Bitcoin is going to head, but it's going to head a very high price, and it's going to, mind blow a lot of people, right? It's going to be absolutely insane. Okay, you guys have no idea where Bitcoin is going to be heading, but I'm telling you guys right now, I told you guys many times. Personally, I think, yes, it's very possible to see Bitcoin reach 200K, 250K, maybe even 300K. A lot of people are, in fact, predicting that in the next bull market, which is, going to happen in 2025, that year, we will potentially see a 300K Bitcoin, right? That's what people are, in fact, predicting here. So we will see, time will tell, obviously, but that's that. But I'm going to stick with 200K and 250K. I think that's very possible for Bitcoin, so I'm going to stick with that. Now, obviously, there's a fair few charts that I want to show you guys in today's video. We know we are, in fact, seeing a little retest right now. So, obviously, Bitcoin is, in fact, going back down to the inside bar. Okay, I showed you guys this chart, similar chart to this one, a couple days ago, around 2 days ago, when it was, in fact, pumping when it was up here because it was breaking above. But now, Bitcoin is having a retest and it's back inside this bar. And I told you guys many times, Bitcoin has, in fact, been consolidating inside this bar, in between, 31K and, 30K, right, for the past like 2 weeks almost, right, mind you. So obviously right now is a perfect time to DCA into Bitcoin. Every single time we see, Bitcoin consolidate, in my opinion, I think that's the most important because that is a buying opportunity pretty much, right? And we all should be doing that. We're still in the buy zone, guys, okay? But soon enough, okay, we're going to break this consolidation for Bitcoin. We know it's been consolidating, moving on its sideways for a very long time, for 2 weeks now, pretty much, right? Which is crazy. But soon enough, guys, I'm guys right now, soon enough, it's gonna break, okay, out from this, consolidation. Okay, it's gonna break the resistance line, and I really do believe, the only time we'll see Bitcoin pump up to the upside is when it actually breaks a new high. So 32K, 33K, 34K, and once we actually see that, I think we will in fact see another rally up happen for Bitcoin. So this chart is saying that it's going to reach high as $36,000. And I showed you guys a fair few charts just like this one, indicating that yes, Bitcoin has a chance to reach 35, 36, 38, 40, 42, $45,000 in the next upcoming few months. Okay, sometime this year in 2023. Now, here's another chart. Okay, and this one's pretty interesting. The 2-year moving average. Okay, and this red line, you guys can clearly see it's coming up, right? We are almost at that red line, and I really do believe, it's game time, right? That's what it's saying right here. It's game time. Once Bitcoin actually reaches back up to its previous highs and whatnot, I think, that's when we're really going to see Bitcoin pump, right? Once it reaches back up to 69K, okay, we're gonna see Bitcoin pump. Okay, so obviously it is in fact in a resistance line right now. Okay, and we are still in the buy zone, like I said, but time to accumulate is almost over. You guys understand that, right? Once we're actually back at 69K, yeah, obviously it's still a great buy because we know Bitcoin's gonna go way higher than its previous highs, right? It's gonna go to like 100K, 150K, 200K, like I mentioned, right? This person is expecting 250K. Okay, and I know Tim. Okay, he's obviously very bullish on Bitcoin. He obviously does in fact invest into Bitcoin as well, right? He's a capital investor, right, in America, I believe, and he is very bullish with Bitcoin. I believe he's a Bitcoin maximus, right? And I think he's one of those people that did in fact invest into Bitcoin at its early stages, I believe. So he's very bullish, and he's predicting that yes, we will in fact see a 250k Bitcoin by the year 2025. Okay, so just think about that, right? So yes, the bull market beginnings is very soon. Okay, pretty much this is the next bull market beginning. So Bitcoin holders out there that's watching this video, be excited for that. Now, I'm a big believer. You guys know this, right? I'm a big believer, and we all should be a believer of, history sort of repeating itself, rhyming and whatnot. It's like clockwork, right? Whatever Bitcoin has done in the past, it will do a similar thing. And that's exactly what this chart is indicating and showing. So back in 2020, okay, we saw a pump, and then we saw a rest where Bitcoin really, it didn't really move. Okay, it was pretty much consolidating, and then out of nowhere, it pumped. That happened in 2020. Now, a similar thing is happening right now in 2023, right now. So we had a pump. Bitcoin is obviously having a rest, and it could potentially have another pump up to the upside. And that's exactly what people are in fact predicting. So in the next upcoming few weeks, I'm expecting Bitcoin to reach a new high for this year in 2023. I'm expecting to see Bitcoin reach, back up to 32k finally, 33, 34, 35, 38, $40,000 even. Okay. So it's looking pretty good for Bitcoin. Let Bitcoin rest. Because I ain't gonna lie, 2023, Bitcoin has in fact been pumping, right? Especially in January. We had a 40% return just in January. Just think about that. So Bitcoin obviously has in fact been pumping. And obviously just recently, we know Bitcoin has in fact been forming this downtrend, very slow downtrend, and recently it just pumped out of it, right? A massive pump up to the upside. You guys can clearly see that. So it's understandable why we are in fact, consolidating at this level right now. You know what I mean? It's very understandable. So just let Bitcoin rest. You know what I mean? Let it do its thing. Okay. It may seem boring right now, but trust me, days like this where it's consolidating is the most important. I told you guys many times, we all should be DCA, right? So I think this is a great opportunity to buy Bitcoin, especially since it's dropping today slightly. Okay, 30,400. So I think today is obviously a great buy. Now here's another chart that I like. Okay, the first LMACD cross, and I talked about this cross many times for the past few days. Even yesterday's video stream, I talked about this as well. But this cross on monthly after bear market, so it looks like a signal for a bull market for Bitcoin very soon, right? So be excited for that, guys. Okay, like I said many times, we have already hit bottom, so there's no way in hell Bitcoin's gonna, drop all the way back down towards bottom. That has never happened in Bitcoin history. Okay, so it's all ups from here, guys. Like I've been telling you guys that many times. We know the Bitcoin halving is obviously right around the corner every single time, right? We know this every single time we have the halving. Okay, that's where Bitcoin tends to pump the most. Okay, and of course reaches a new all-time high. So that's gonna happen very soon, especially next year in 2024, and it's not just going to stop there. In the year 2025, it's going to pump even more. We're going to see Bitcoin skyrocket, not just Bitcoin, but altcoins, all right? And that's going to be alt season, okay? Just like what we saw in 2021, we saw Bitcoin pumping, and of course, we saw a lot of altcoins pumping, right? We saw Cardano, okay? We saw, Polygon, we saw Avalanche, we saw, Chainlink, right? Dogecoin even. Right, we saw many altcoins, Solana, you name it, right? Who remembers Solana was absolutely pumping as well. So altcoins will pump, same with Bitcoin. But I'm telling you guys right now, Bitcoin in 2025 will be mind-blowing. It's going to shock a lot of people where Bitcoin will be heading in that year, okay? So be prepared for that for all my Bitcoin holders out there. We should be very happy right now, okay? Because the halving is literally right around the corner. You know what that means, right? So let me show you guys this. Okay, so this is from Michael Saylor, of course, the man himself. Okay, and he's saying the rich owns stocks, the smart own Bitcoin. And I just want to tell you guys something, right? I really just want to tell you guys something. I don't own any stocks. I have never ever in my life invested into stocks. Okay, I really actually wanted to start investing my money, but I was planning on investing into stocks or crypto, right? It was either one. So I started to do my own research, right? And it seems like, Bitcoin and crypto seems to move even more than stocks, because I heard, the stock market, it doesn't really move. Like let's be honest here, right? In a single day, I've heard like if the stock market pumps, 1% or 2% or even 3%, that's a good day, right? Which is very small. We've seen the crypto market pump in total of like 5%, 7%, 10%, even over 10% in some days, right? We'll see Bitcoin pump like over 10% in a day. We'll see Ethereum pump, over 10% as well. We see a lot of altcoins pumping over, 100%, right, in a single day in 24 hours. So I feel like, Bitcoin and crypto move way more than the stock market, right? So what Michael Saylor is saying here is that the rich own stocks, the smart own Bitcoin, right? And you guys clearly see that Bitcoin has performed way better than S&P 500. So this is pretty much the performance since August 10th of 2020, right? August 10th of 2020 to where it is now. And you guys can clearly see Bitcoin has performed way better than the S&P 500, 161%, right? Performance right there for Bitcoin. And the performance for the S&P 500 is only 33%. So just think about that, right? Just think about it. And this is why I always tell you guys, right, that I don't invest into the stock market because it doesn't move, right? It really doesn't. I'm not saying that the stock market's not a great investment. It obviously really is, because you're investing into companies and whatnot, right, that actually exist. Okay, I understand that, but it just doesn't move. You know what I mean? So I'd rather stick with Bitcoin and crypto, right? And we know Bitcoin and crypto is obviously the future, and I really do believe it's the future of money. We know Bitcoin and crypto is digital money, and I really do believe, it's going to replace a lot of, different types of payments, and that's why I'm really bullish with Bitcoin and crypto, especially Bitcoin, right? We know a lot of people nowadays use, debit cards, credit cards, Apple Pay, PayPal, okay, Cash App, you name it, right? All these different type of payments, but I feel like Bitcoin and crypto, okay, will replace all this in the future, and that's why I'm very, very bullish with Bitcoin, right? Especially, and of course, just cryptocurrency in general, right? Because I know where it's heading in the future, guys, right? So that's that. That's why I'm really bullish. So that's the performance between Bitcoin and the S&P 500 for the past few years. Now, the Bitcoin monthly returns, since Bitcoin is obviously having a slight drop back down to the downside, okay, 30,400. Yesterday was at like, I think 30,700. And the day after that was at like 31K. So since Bitcoin has in fact been dropping, obviously, it has dropped as well. It's down 0.03%. We're still in the greens though, but I think this is going to change very soon, okay? But still, guys, we're still early into July, okay? We're still early into this month, and I really do believe, once July ends, we're going to see this end off in the greens, just like what we saw last month. And like I said, I'm actually surprised that we saw June in the greens, right? But this month, it's looking pretty good, you know what I mean? Still, right? It's still early, okay? Even if this does switch up to the reds, it's not going to make a huge difference, right? And I really do believe, this month we're going to see Bitcoin pump to 32K, 33K, 35K even, right? So we will see, time will tell, but I really do believe that's possible for Bitcoin for this month, because usually July, Bitcoin does perform pretty well, okay? So that's that. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. More videos will in fact be coming away, so stay tuned for that. Hope you guys have a blessed day as always, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a blessed day, guys.